Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well today. So today we're going to be continuing our discussion about passive transport. I want you guys to log into Schoology. Hi, Ferris. I want you guys to log into Schoology to take a look at the agenda for today. And I'm also going to be sharing my screen with you to go through it together. So we're going to do a live demonstration using a spray bottle and a stopwatch. We'll go over some notes and video. You guys have the code to access the video. And then you guys have a Gizmo assignment and an exit ticket. Okay, so let's start off with the demonstration. Open up your Nearpod, guys. I need somebody to read the do now.
Make sure you have your materials ready. 1. Spray bottle. 2. Stopwatch, Google timer, or smartphone work. 3. Family member or friend. Get into position. You stand on one side of the room while the other person stands on the other side, on the opposite end. Have spray bottle in one hand and stopwatch in other. Execute. Tell your partner to let you know when they smell the scent. Press the button on your bottle and start the stopwatch at the same time. Once the scent reaches your partner, stop the timer. Record how long it takes for them to smell it in Zoom chat.
All right, thank you for reading that. So go ahead, guys, get into formation with your materials.
Oh yeah, stopwatch.
Okay, so have your timer ready. You're gonna start your stopwatch at the same time when he sprays. Okay.
3, set, go.
Mhm. It might take some time.
Oh, I smell it.
You smell it?
Yeah, 18
Okay.
seconds.
18
18,
seconds
36.
and 36 milliseconds. Okay, perfect. Okay, so why do you guys think that you were able to smell it, but it took some time?
Well, I think I could smell it. Well, because he sprayed out of the bottle, of course, but mainly because of the air. Like air is always moving.
Okay. Okay, so this has to do with diffusion. Okay, that's the reason that you were able to smell the scent after he sprayed it, right? And it took some time because it had to diffuse through the air. So we're gonna go into a video to show you guys exactly what that looks like. So on Nearpod, guys, I'm sharing my screen one more time to show you, and we're gonna start the video. Okay, follow along, and you're gonna have to answer questions throughout the video.
Hey, I'm Lorena, and this is a cell. All cells have a membrane, and that membrane is selectively permeable. They let some things in and keep others out, sort of like a bouncer at a club.
Hey, no jeans, please.
But how does that really work? Let's check it out. Active and passive transport, unpacked. Here's oxygen moving across a cell membrane. Here's water. Here's calcium. What do you notice? There are two main ways substances move across the cell membrane: passive transport and active transport. Passive transport requires no energy from the cell. Let's say you're biking down a hill, and even if you're just sitting there checking Instagram, not pedaling, your bike will still move down to the bottom of the hill, passively. Molecules naturally want to move down the concentration gradient. That's just a fancy way of saying they move from areas where there's a lot of them to areas where there's not so many. They do this until equilibrium has been achieved and the concentration is the same on both sides. The simplest form of passive transport is called simple diffusion. Very small molecules, like oxygen, diffuse easily across the cell membrane. Other substances like ions and polar molecules need a little help to diffuse across the membrane. They enter the cell through channel proteins, which act like an open door in the cell membrane. That's called facilitated diffusion. Osmosis is a special name for the facilitated diffusion of water molecule.
I think there's something wrong with the video. It's not showing the questions, so just give me 1 second. I'm going to refresh it. Okay, guys, use that code to get into the Nearpod. Let me put it in the chat for you guys. Okay, so try that, guys.
Jeans, please.
Okay, so let's try it again. Sometimes this happens.
They let some things in and keep others out, sort of like a bouncer at a club.
Hey, no jeans, please.
Okay, guys, so go ahead, answer the question that is up on the screen for you. Okay, so Faris, read the question.
A cell membrane and a bouncer at a club both illustrate selective permeability. What else can you think of that lets some things in and not others? I put your nose.
Okay, so how'd you come up with this?
Well, I was thinking of things that like I know like from like my past experience in life that your nose is like a filter. When you breathe in, it keeps out the bad stuff. So that was the first thing to come to mind.
Okay, exactly. So it's like a filter, and that's a very good way to describe a cell membrane. How about you, Yusuf?
I put Face ID because, you know, when it recognizes the owner of the phone, then it'll unlock.
Yes, very, very good. Okay, so let's move on.
How does that really work? Let's check it out. Active and passive transport. Unpacked. Here's oxygen moving across a cell membrane. Here's water. Here's calcium. What do you notice?
Okay, guys, so go ahead, put in your answers for the next question. I'll give you guys about 1 minute, and then we will review. Okay, Yusuf, read it.
I put, oh, the question, what differences did you observe in how these three molecules move across the cell membrane? And my answer was they all were different sizes and entered in a different way.
Okay, exactly. So they were all different sizes and they entered in a different way. Very good. So we're gonna stop the video here, and we're gonna move on to the next. We're gonna move on to the slides. So passive transport, guys, and the way that it works is it doesn't need energy, right? So what is an example of something that can move without really requiring a lot of energy? What is one example you can think of where it's going from an area of high concentration to low concentration?
So the example that I can think of is like a bike when you're uphill, like it will, naturally go downhill because of gravity. So that's an example.
Okay, very good. So it's going from the example we like to use is the bike going from a high point to the low point. It's easy, no energy is required. It is a smooth transition. Okay. So that would be something like simple diffusion. Another example would be, what we showed you guys earlier with the spray bottle and the demonstration we did earlier. Okay, very good. Any questions?
No.
No.
Okay, so the next thing is osmosis, movement of water across a selectively permeable membrane. So this is important because water is a different type of molecule than all of the other molecules. So osmosis specifically is what we call the movement of water. Okay, solute concentrations inside and outside of the cell determine if osmosis will occur. And we'll talk a little bit more about osmosis in our next lesson. Okay, so the next thing you have to do is you need to sign in to your Explore Learning Gizmos account, and I'm gonna go through it with you guys. You're gonna have to launch the gizmo that I assigned to you, and we'll explore it together. And then on your own, you're gonna answer the assessment questions as part of your homework. So are there any questions for me before we start the gizmo?
No.
Okay, guys, so go ahead, launch it. We'll go through it together, and then we will recap. All right, guys, I've looked at your gizmo, and let me just share my screen. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need you guys to come over here, and I want you to just manipulate a little bit, play around with it, and tell me what you notice. So what exactly is happening as you're playing with it?
When I increase the solute outside, the number of purple dots increases, and if initial cell volume, it's I guess the perimeter expands.
The perimeter expands.
Yeah.
So
right here.
yeah, the solute on the outside, right? You're moving it about. So basically you're just manipulating the amount of particles inside and outside, right? Okay, so like I said, you guys have some homework questions to do about this. So before I let you guys go, do you have any questions about this?
No questions.
All right, guys. So you guys can go ahead, start working on your homework. Make sure that you email me if you have any questions, or just ask me in class tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.